Life Audio.
Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is on why unforgiveness is absolutely not an option. We'll return with the devotional after a brief message from our sponsors. Why Unforgiveness is Not an Option. Written and read by Kelly Bellari. Then Peter came up and said to him, "Lord, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? As many as 7 times?" Jesus said to him, "I do not say to you 7 times, but 77 times. Matthew 18:21-22. I was furious at this person. Sitting on the couch, I knew there may as well have been a brick wall between us. I was angry. I felt unprotected and exposed. I didn't want to get hurt again. Fools do that. Sure, his words sounded apologetic, but could I trust them? He was saying one thing, but all my emotions wanted to believe another. Nodding, I pretended like everything was okay. At the same time, my mind circled back to a conversation I recently had with a friend. She explained how she didn't intend to send me a podcast to teach me a lesson or to prove a point. She just wanted to know my opinion about it. I remember thinking I have to trust her at her word. Otherwise, if I go by a feeling, I will not go about forgiving. I told her, "Friend, I know your heart." I immediately moved on from bitterness. Why couldn't I do the same thing with this man? Why couldn't I trust his heart? Why couldn't I take him at his word? I sat with that thought. After a time, I came to the fact that Jesus doesn't tell me it's an option that I forgive. He doesn't tell me it might be a good idea that I forgive. Jesus tells me to forgive. Then Peter came up and said to him, "Lord, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? As many as 7 times?" Jesus said to him, "I do not say to you 7 times, but 77 times. Matthew 18:21-22. Man will fail us 77 times, and God calls us to forgive them 77 times, even when, by our natural, we have no good reason as to why we should forgive them. Never once did Jesus say we have to understand every reason why. He just tells us to forgive. To love the Lord is to obey his commands. To give someone forgiveness is to offer them a fresh start. Jesus is the way. So certainly, his truth leads the way to abundant life. This doesn't mean we abandon reason or wisdom as we forgive. Certainly, boundaries and wise words are always needed. At the same time, the calling to forgive still stands. Who might you need to forgive today? How might God be preparing something new for you in that relationship? How might God be growing fruit in you? How might this growing of fruit in your life affect others? Friends, forgiveness is never merited, hardly deserved, but it is always required. We forgive just as Jesus forgave us. Intersecting faith and life. Then Peter came up and said to him, "Lord, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? As many as 7 times?" Jesus said to him, "I do not say to you 7 times, but 77 times. This indicates that man will hurt us many, many times. Not only will they hurt us, but they will verifiably sin against us. When we know that someone has not only hurt us, but they have blatantly sinned in our face, how will we handle it? Are we a person of grace or of anger? Do we continually blame and point fingers at the past or at the person? Or do we make way for an immediate and radical forgiveness?
The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.